we're ready.
Hey Rick, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday it is. October.
Finally, I have my air conditioner off today and just have a fan on. And
Nice.
yeah, hopefully I'm sure everybody's feeling this wicked electricity bills here.
I know. Well, I think we're only a few days away from getting some real fall weather, I hope.
I
Oh,
know,
gosh.
It sounds like it. I heard there was a 1/100th chance that it might sprinkle on Friday. So I think we're all going to be outside with our mouths open.
Maybe we should do a group lotto purchase or something then, if that's the case.
Exactly. I know. I guess it hasn't rained in I don't know what they said, 138 days or something. But maybe it'll make up for it in winter like it did last year.
We could probably use it.
Speaking of electricity bills, I wanted to talk about today the HERO program. And I've dealt with it a few times, and I'll kind of go into what I have seen, and then maybe you can give us some alternatives. So the HERO program, it's called HERO, and when I hear that, I think, oh, is it a veterans loan? Is it a company that's run by veterans? Is it backed by the government? It's a HERO loan. And I forget what it's an acronym for, but it's none of the things I just mentioned. And so HERO loan, it's a program where you use their contractors and they put the bill onto your property tax bill.
Correct.
And these are for improvements that are supposed to increase the energy efficiency of your home. And here's what I've run into with it. So I had a seller who had put in all new, like heater, air conditioner, dual pane windows, those kind of energy improvements. And so she wanted to sell her house for two things. For top dollar, because it had all these new energy efficient improvements, but she also wanted to sell it with the lien on the taxes. So essentially she was thinking that the buyer was going to be okay with paying twice for this, once in the purchase price and then every year until it's paid off on her property tax, their property taxes. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is not, I wish you would have talked to me ahead of time, because here's the deal. Like if you get a HERO loan and you pay it off within a year, or if you pay it off within 15 years, it's the same amount of money. You don't get any bonuses for paying it off early. And typically, from what I've seen in my experience, I've seen that these improvements basically cost double than what you would pay if you got a general contractor or whomever without using this HERO loan. So, and if you're in any kind of realtor meeting and somebody mentions HERO loan, oh my gosh, everybody's like, oh no, please say it.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
so what's your experience and what do you think a good alternative is?
Well, to your point earlier about the HERO program, what people do not know, and they will never tell you, is that when you have a HERO loan, you cannot put new financing on your house until that loan is paid off. So if you're going to refinance your house, let's say, for example, you do a HERO loan for all these improvements, and then you decide a year from now, hey, the rates have dropped, I'm going to do a refinance, right? You are required to pay off that HERO loan before you can put the new loan on. And so then if you decide to pay off that HERO loan with the refinance, now it becomes a cash out refinance, which changes the entire loan. So that's bad right there. If you're selling your house, same thing applies. Like in your situation, right, with your seller, they have to pay that HERO loan off as part of closing that escrow. You cannot pass that obligation on to the new buyer, because the agencies, Freddie and Fannie, both require those loans to be paid off before putting a new loan on the property, whether it's a refinance or purchase.
Yeah, they don't want to walk into an encumbered property.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point though, because I know it's like once people get this, they're just stuck.
Hmm.
They're up the
You're
creek. You know, they
stuck.
can't
There's no
refinance.
alternatives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a cash out refi is, like you said, not as favorable as just a straight up
straight
refi.
refi. Right. So,
Oh.
but people don't know that, because here's what happens is that these contractors, what they don't tell you or tell the homeowner is that there's a couple things. First of all, there's no real qualifying for those loans.
Mm.
And the reason
Isn't
for
that
that is
stupid?
because they're just attaching it to the property taxes, right? And so there's no income qualifying, there's no credit qualifying, there's none of that stuff. It's so for the contractor, it's like a guaranteed loan for them to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Number
Mm-hmm.
one. Number two, what they don't tell you is that these contractors are incentivized to push that Hero program because
Mm-hmm.
they get referral fees directly from Hero for using that loan for their contracting.
Right.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid to do the work and they're getting paid for the loan, which they don't disclose.
Right.
And so
Which is
I just,
crazy. The
I
amount
don't
of
understand how that,
disclosures, yeah,
yeah.
the amount of disclosures that you have to do as a lender when you're lending
Hmm.
money is like you have to do a disclosure at the beginning, then you have
Right.
to do a disclosure at the end, and
It's
they all
very
have to match
regulated.
up. I mean, it's very, very
Right.
regulated. And this is just like willy-nilly. You know, these
It is.
people typically, you know, they're not taking into consideration your financial situation. And
They're
you know,
not at
now
all.
your property's encumbered. You know, what a bummer.
Well, and then if you have some problems down the road, you lose your job, something happens, there's no workout. In other words, if you have a home loan and you have forbearance options, you have options
Right.
for repayment. If you've got a Hero program and something goes south in your personal life, there's no workaround. You're just done. You're
Right.
just now there's no way to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I think overall, it's a horrible, horrible program. And by the way, the costs in the loan are not that cheap either. I think the rate is something in the 8.5% to 9% range,
Mm-hmm.
something in that range, plus extra fees.
Right.
So it's not exactly a cost-effective loan either. It's just super easy to get because there's really no qualifying for it,
Right.
but you're going to pay
Exactly.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I figure like if somebody is never ever going to move and they're older, but
Hmm.
they have income enough to pay it,
Hmm.
and they have no hot water and they need a hot water heater. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, right. Sure.
that's a desperate situation. But what are some alternatives? What else can people do besides get themselves mixed up with this kind of stuff?
Well, there's a few options. You can do certainly a cash out refinance on your
Mm-hmm.
mortgage. You can do that. You can do a line of credit as a second
Mm-hmm.
mortgage. There's also really good sources just for private loans.
Yeah.
You can do
Like,
a 5 to 12 year fully amortized private loan at a much lower rate than you would get on Hero and a better payment.
right. Somebody could just
So there's
walk
other
into
options.
wherever they have their checking account or something and just ask for a personal loan, right?
You can do that. There's a program out there called Lightstream. It's a division of I think SunWest Bank, and
Mm-hmm.
all they do is just loans, personal loans for home improvements. For the most part, home
Oh,
improvements.
nice. Mm-hmm.
And you go as long as 12 years on a fully amortized loan at a pretty good rate. And
Yeah.
so that's still a better alternative than a Hero loan in terms of
Right.
cost and payment
Right.
without
Yeah.
having to put more loans on your house.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's really good information for today, and I appreciate your input. I know we feel the same way about it. So
Yeah, for
hopefully
sure.
somebody can see this before they make a mistake, or they'll send it to
Yeah,
somebody who should hear a little bit more before they go for it, you know?
no doubt, for sure.
All
Yep.
right. Well, thanks, Rick. Great topic, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Megan. Take care. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye.
Bye. So check this out. You're